Hello, my name is Les Hedman, and I'm the CEO and founder of Helix Health and Wellness. And I'm here today on Health and Technology, interviewing the CEO of Matter, Steve Collens. Steve Collens has been a driving force in not only the entrepreneurial community here in Chicago, but particularly in the healthcare startup and tech startup industry. And today we want to talk to Steve a little bit about his interest not only in entrepreneurialism, but healthcare, but also to offer some wisdom and advice to entrepreneurs endeavoring to get into the changing healthcare industry as it moves very rapidly in the face of compliance, changing technology, and also new players into the market. So again, thank you to Mably, and again, thank you to all of you who have been following our Health and Technology series. I'd like to have Steve introduce himself, please.
So I'm the CEO of Matter. We're, as you know, a healthcare technology startup center and community hub. We opened 5 months ago, just about today.
Congratulations to us all.
Thank you very much. And as you said, this is, or as you hinted at, this is an incredibly dynamic and exciting time for healthcare innovation and healthcare entrepreneurship. And there are a number of trends that are all colliding at once that are creating this set of opportunities for entrepreneurs to really make a difference in the healthcare field. So you can think of the Internet of Things as a trend that's affecting the whole kind of universe, really, but creating in healthcare the opportunity to connect with patients outside the normal sort of walls of the delivery environment. Huge trend, the digitization of the industry, which really is reflected in electronic medical records. We're maybe 10 years into the digitization of the industry. And so the opportunities there as workflows change, processes change, sort of oceans of data become available to work with. And obviously we've got some issues to work through around how the data is sort of configured and how accessible it is. But the opportunities, again, are enormous to use that to improve the efficiency and performance of the healthcare system. And then really totally unique to healthcare is this top-down kind of policy approach, and we're really seeing a sort of a march from a activity-based healthcare system to a value-based healthcare system. And the appetite for innovation among existing institutional stakeholders is enormous as they look to a future where they are looking at different ways of operating to deliver care sort of in different ways, more efficiently, focused more on outcomes, and creating so many opportunities for entrepreneurs. And that's why you see such a surge in interest among entrepreneurs in focusing on healthcare technologies.
Wow, I actually couldn't have summarized all of the positives and the negatives so succinctly. One thing that I've noticed, I was previously in energy efficiency and providing lead consulting to healthcare facilities. That's how I got into the industry. If you could comment a little bit about the convergence of non-healthcare people and also traditionalists in moving us towards the new, delivery models and policy and compliance that we're seeing in healthcare today.
Sure. I mean, that's part of what is what I think is both really exciting and also in some ways challenging. Is when there is so much opportunity in healthcare. I mean, frankly, you look at the healthcare sort of system, and entrepreneurs like to go into areas where there are challenges and where there's big problems, right? And wow, there's a lot of problems in healthcare. I mean, talk about opportunity. And so given the developments in sort of different types of technology, and given the really the sort of policy shifts and the sort of appetite for innovation, there's so much opportunity, and that attracts entrepreneurs to the space. Many of them come from the healthcare industry. They're doctors, they're scientists, they're people who've spent their careers working inside of health systems or working inside of companies in the healthcare industry. There are also many who don't come from the healthcare industry, and I don't know exactly what your initial experiences were, but a lot of what we see is that the problems and opportunities in healthcare are not the insights needed to develop a meaningful business and a meaningful technology solution in healthcare are not obvious to people who aren't part of the healthcare system. And figuring out how you attack the right problems and how you do them in ways that are going to work within the construct of how the system works. And that means how doctors deliver care. It means how the reimbursement dollars flow and where the incentives are. And it means where the problems are that are acute enough to be high enough on the priority list where people are willing to invest in them. It means, so many different things about how the system kind of works that you can't ignore if you're building a sort of a technology solution for healthcare. That for people outside of the healthcare industry, there's often a layer of opacity around and sort of inaccessibility. So one of the core things that we try to do at Matter is bring the people with the knowledge and the expertise about the healthcare industry here to work with the entrepreneurs at the very earliest stages of identifying the problems and building the businesses so that entrepreneurs have access to the resources within the existing sort of infrastructure that they need to develop businesses that solve the right problems in the right ways.
Outstanding. So with that being said, taking my experience being an alumni member of 1871, which you're also intimately familiar with, we were very excited. I remember talking to you several months before Matter was actually a reality of how great it was going to be to actually have a place of true incubation and bring all the partners and constituents which you and your team have really brought together. If you can talk a little bit about some of the other partners who are also a driving force from the industry and in healthcare here locally in Chicago, that would be great.
So we have 50 partners, and we define partners as established companies, healthcare companies, as health systems, as universities, and as sort of organizations that do business with the healthcare industry. And we have a number of our partners who are very actively engaged with us. You take AbbVie as a large pharmaceutical company. They are here at Matter all the time. Different parts of the company are here. They've met a number of the
everyone from marketing startups, to R&D to compliance.
Marketing, R&D, compliance, legal, purchasing, HR. I mean, you sort of pick an area, and there have been people here. We had 100 of their scientists here from their discovery group here last week. And so they're meeting entrepreneurs, they're providing advice, they're mentoring, they're going to start really teaching some of the workshops. And so, and it's a two-way street. They're getting as much out of these relationships and interaction with Matter as the entrepreneurs are getting from them. And that's the kind of partnership and relationship that we're really seeking to build.
Outstanding. And I think I pretty much answered my own question. With local companies that have a significant influence in healthcare, Chicago seems like a great opportunity to bring a lot of those constituents together.
We have in the Chicago region more healthcare expertise and more healthcare assets than anywhere else in the country. World-leading companies, pharma, diagnostics, device, hospital, supply, pharmacy, payers. We have most of the medical associations in the world are based here. The American Medical Association is a huge partner of ours. The American Hospital Association is just down the street. The American Dental Association is here. HIMSS, the Healthcare Technology Society Association, is based here. Many of the specialty societies are based here. We have more doctors per capita in Chicago than anywhere else in the country.
That's right.
We have incredible research institutions, incredible health systems. So we really, what we haven't had is the companies and organizations are dispersed geographically, and just the way that the community has evolved, we haven't had a sort of a nexus where people can come together and sort of convene around topics related to healthcare innovation and meet entrepreneurs and meet each other. And that's what we're putting together at Matter.
Outstanding. Well, in closing, I can express for me and my team how instrumental it's been to have that exposure and to participate with industry-leading experts and get that insight actually from how we take this from concept to actual application out in the real world. And I have to say that as a nexus, Matter truly brings together all stakeholders, including entrepreneurs who are local, not in an area you generally think of like Silicon Valley or one of the coasts, and really are trying to make an impact in changing people's lives and changing healthcare. Steve, I really appreciate your time today.